Why do so many Black Jamaicans have red hair? So this obviously relates directly to me. Before you say it, I know my hair looks brown in this lighting, so of course I'll pop up a couple pictures. Okay, so before I start getting into this video, I want to make it clear right now, bruh, I don't have a time machine, okay? I can't go back in time and verify that all of this is exactly how it all happened. So please just know that this is like more of like a theory of sorts, I'd say. So as we know, Jamaica's motto is out of many, one people. I don't have a time machine to see it for myself, but I do have an investigative mind and historical knowledge. In Jamaica, a lot of Black children are born with brown, gingerish hair, or even blonde hair. I'm not really gonna focus on the blonde hair right now. We're just gonna focus on the red hair because, like I said, this is about me. Clarifying, just to like make it clear, because I know a lot of people will say like, oh, obviously, you're mixed or something, and no, both of my parents are Black. They are very Black. And I mean, so I wouldn't, let's not even, because I already know that I'm not even gonna, but yeah, I'm fully Black. There's no recent mix to blame like my red hair on, and that is the case with a lot of people. Anyways, many Black populations around the world have individuals that have red or gingerish hair, but it just seems to be more prevalent in Jamaica. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm over observing it. But it seems to me like every family or a lot of families have at least one individual with red hair. And it's like, am I tweaking? Like, I'm not imagining it. I ain't imagining it. But yeah, like I'm saying, it is surprisingly common. Okay, so while I was trying to make this video, I actually looked it up, like just the question, why are there so many redheaded Jamaicans? And boom, there goes my old video right here. And I was just like, damn, this is preposterous. That was one of my favorite videos to make. Keep it up. That's why I decided to make this video, so that I could draw my own connections, and hey, maybe I'm right. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, my nigga, I'm not a genealogist or perhaps some sort of I don't know, genetic mastermind. So we know that your genes determine your hair color, and the gene that mostly controls hair color is the MC1R gene. When someone is born with red hair, this is because there is a mutation of that gene that causes the coppery pigment. However, the reason for the abundance of this gene on the island is not exactly known. Like, there isn't an exact trace. The first time I had really done a deep dive, I had come to the conclusion that it had to be the Irish, just because I knew of Irish immigration to Jamaica, and you know, Irish people have a lot of Irish people have red hair, and in my own family, I mean, I know that there is some Irish back there. I mean, I can't name individuals, you know what I'm saying, because it ain't recent, but you know how it went in the time of the sugar trade, if you will. So I'm definitely gonna explain why I'm still including the Irish as a reason, but the whole reason for like making a long video instead of just making another TikTok and saying like, oh yeah, you know, the last one got deleted, is because I found out so much more, like, and it's because of my last video. So the last time that I made a TikTok about it, I got a lot of comments from people from Nigeria in particular who were like, this is super common in Nigeria too, like this is something that you would probably see every day. And I was like, that's interesting, like, interesting. So I get on my little laptop, I'm clickety clacking, and wouldn't you know it, a large portion of the enslaved people who were taken to Jamaica were from regions in Nigeria, particularly the Biafra region, which is like on the southern area of it, if I remember the map correctly. You are probably not surprised to hear Irish, but due to some preconceived notions, I know that some people will be maybe a little bit surprised to hear that it also came from Nigeria. I know I wasn't particularly surprised, but it was cool to learn that though. And the more evidence that I learned, it just made it so much better. So let's get into the evidence. So I'm gonna start with the Igbo people of Nigeria, the Igbo tribe, as they were taken in the largest numbers to Jamaica. So a large majority of Nigerians that were taken to Jamaica were taken from the Igbo tribe. The Igbo are an ethnic group well known for their enterprising, independent, and adventurous nature. The tribe is popular for its variety in food, dance, music, as well as musical instruments, festivals, and just like generally the culture. Personally, I had no idea that a large amount of the enslaved people brought to Jamaica were from Nigeria. I had no idea, and particularly that a good chunk of them were from the Igbo tribe. And it is documented that Jamaica received the most members of the Igbo tribe out of like all of the other different colonies. Jamaica received the highest number of them. Many Yoruba were taken as well, but it's mostly documented that the majority of the people were Igbo from that region. Okay, so the data shows that 1 in 500 to 1 in 1,000 Nigerian people has reddish or brownish hair. Y'all, is this true, y'all? Because it is blowing my mind. Like, I mean, how could I have not known this? Like, they were telling me it was common, but I'm just like, okay, like, I don't know what really does common mean? You know what I mean? Like, that's a good amount of people. 1 in every 1,000 or 1 in every 500? Yeah. Some people believe that this is due to colonization, but I disagree, because the mutation in Europeans also causes pale skin and usually lighter eyes and eyebrows and all that stuff. But it's just simply not the case in Africa. It isn't. And it's often not the case in people of African descent that have this trait. Like me, I don't have light eyes, and I wouldn't say that my skin is particularly light. I say that I'm sitting on the cusp of like light skin and brown skin. I'm like right in the middle. So yeah, I wouldn't call myself like particularly light or anything. Originally, when they first started like noticing this, it was thought that these people had a form of albinism. But in 1944, it was decided that they were xanthic, which means yellowish, which I think is just darling. Like, I'm losing my mind over xanthic. Like, y'all don't understand. Xanthic is it's just such a nice word. I like how it sounds. Like, it's cute. And I think I'm gonna start saying it. I hope it's not like used in a negative way anymore, because I like it. Like, y'all, I really hope it's not you. I hope nobody's saying nothing crazy, y'all. So anyways, in 1951, a study was done on 17 families who each had an individual that had red hair. And out of these families, 9 of them were either Yoruba or Igbo. So now I'm starting to see the clear connection and why so many people were mentioning this to me. Like, it makes so much sense now. It's starting to make sense. And y'all, it's about to make even more sense, y'all. I'm sorry if y'all can hear that. My cats is out there. You know how cats get when they just like start running and there's nothing you can do to stop them? Like, they are just tearing through the house. That's where we at. So when I started to look into exact numbers to see like how many exactly were brought to Jamaica, I couldn't find it. But you know, they didn't really keep good records of us, so it's to be expected, because, you know, they didn't keep great records of us. But I found something that's even more solidifying. So if you grew up in Jamaica, right, you know, or if you have red hair and you grew up in Jamaica, you know that a nickname that a lot of people will call you is Ready Boo. Ready Boo, Ready Boo. It's just like, I don't know, it's something that they call people who have red hair. I don't know, it's just some, it's cute though, I like it. But yeah, basically it's used as like a sort of pet name for someone who has that fiery skin tone or red hair. You don't even have to have the red hair. Like, you could just have a particularly red skin tone and they'll call you that. So the term originally was Red Igbo, and it was used by people who were bringing them over to describe the person they had brought, Red Igbo. And over time, it just developed into a nickname, Ready Boo, but that's where it came from. Like, isn't that so wild? Like, I didn't even think of such a thing. I didn't even conceive such a thing. But yeah, it was used to just describe Igbo people who fit that description of being quote unquote red. Of course, we can't know for sure how these people looked, but the little pet name does lend us a clue. The impact of the Igbo people is still apparent today, even in language. As a result of not being able to speak the language when they were first brought here, some terms kind of just got mixed into Jamaican patois. Like the term unu, which means you all or you people, just kind of got melded in. Also, did you know that Junkanoo was introduced to us by the Igbo people? Usually happens around Christmas and New Year's. I personally have never been to one. If you have, please comment about it. I've always seen it like as a kid, but I never got the opportunity to go. The impact of the Yoruba people, however, is seen more in parishes like Westmoreland and Hanover. I don't know this personally, so please correct me if I am wrong. But research shows that there are communities in this region that trace their lineage back to the Yoruba tribe. Some of these communities identify as Nego. This term, however, is mostly ascribed to people of the community Abeokuta in, where exactly is that? In the community of Abeokuta in Waterworks, which is named after the Abeokuta in Nigeria. It has been linked directly to that place for over 300 years. And I gotta say, this place is absolutely beautiful. Like, a lot of places in Jamaica are really, really nice, but some places are just like stunning, and this is one of them. In Hanover, communities participate in the Etu dance. It is believed that the word Etu is supposed to be Edo, which is the name of a Yoruba tribe. But over time, the word changed in Jamaica. So we know that many Africans were stolen from places in Nigeria and brought to Jamaica. And we've established that some people in these regions had red hair. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get my camera to stop shaking so much. Be quiet, baby. Be quiet, girl. Calm down, baby girl. Okay. All right. And we've established that some people from this region had red hair. We've established that the nickname Redibu is derived from Red Igbo, which was used to describe enslaved African people who had these traits. So what this means is that these people were not mixed. They were being taken directly out of Africa, meaning that it was not necessarily a European gene that caused that. The reason why I keep saying this is because they really don't know if it is the same mutation. Like, they are not exactly sure if it's the same mutation of the gene that is called, like, it's the same exact mutation causing red hair. They don't know if two different mutations could cause the pigment, so they can't say like, oh yeah, it's definitely the same mutation, or oh no, it's not. So listen, like I said, man, I'm not a scientist. So all I'm saying is that it's possible that this gene erupted out of Africa without any sort of outside interference. However, and it's a however, in Jamaica particularly, I think that the prevalence of it was boosted by the amount of Irish and Scottish people that that came to the island. Okay, so I didn't think of this last one either, Scottish, but on the video as well, I got a lot of Scottish people. Like, oh, a lot of Scots went to Jamaica, or just people being like, hey, a lot of Jamaican last names are Scottish. Why is that? And I was like, damn, girl, why is that? Because most Jamaicans, or a lot of them, have English, Welsh, Scottish, or Irish last names. Like, they don't really, it's just, my last name is, I think, British. I'm just saying, y'all. I got the comments. I'm just saying, I got the comments, and that's what made me want to like look into it. And it is true. So many Scottish people went to Jamaica during slavery. Probably not for the best reasons. I'm just looking around the room. I'm just looking at the audience. I'm just saying, it probably wasn't for the best reasons. So yeah, a lot of Scottish people went to Jamaica for profit, but a lot also went because they were enslaved, and they kind of were using Jamaica how I've heard they used Australia. I don't know if this is a myth or not, but I've heard that they used to bring prisoners to Australia, and that's why they sound like that. But it was the same in Jamaica. Like, if you were exiled from like Scotland or something, they were like, okay, send this guy to Jamaica. Let the mosquitoes at him. So Scotland has the highest population of redheads, with 13% of their total population being redheads. Ireland is not far behind though, at 10% of their population being redheads. But when it comes to Scottish people, up to 1.6 million of them could be carrying the red hair gene, because remember, you don't gotta have red hair to have a red hair baby. My mom and my dad don't have red hair. And here I am. Like, it's recessive genes, y'all. Recessive genes. So a lot of them just carry the gene. So even if they went over there and they didn't have red hair, anything could happen. And same goes for the Igbo people. Even if they did not have red hair, if they went over there and they carried the gene, there we go. So during the period of colonization, thousands of Irish people were sent to Jamaica in an attempt to dominate the Caribbean. But, you know, that didn't exactly, I don't know, it didn't exactly, I don't think it exactly panned out. I think it was ultimately unsuccessful. Maybe it was successful. Okay, so outside of that, though, many more Irish people went to Jamaica just as indentured servants, or because they were exiled, they were just poor, looking for work, whatever. Because, you know, at the time, the sugar plantation industry in Jamaica was booming. Of 10,000 indentured servants that worked in Barbados, upon their time to leave, half of them said that they were destined for Jamaica. Because, like I said, man, money was just running. Land was available, and the sugar industry was booming. A lot of people say this, and I hear sometimes that the Jamaican accent is very Irish, like it has an Irish tone to it, and I definitely hear it sometimes. Not in all people, but I think definitely in older Jamaicans a lot more than you would now. Like, I don't know if, I think it changes sometimes, but I definitely feel like I notice it way more in older Jamaicans. So my theory is that during this time, because the island was receiving an influx of people who either had red hair or carried the red hair gene, the overlap of these two communities carrying the trait made it way more prominent and more prevalent. Like, that's why there's so many people who have red hair or have a family member with red hair, carry the gene, or just know somebody. So now that I've outlined where I think it came from, I will talk about the 3 different types of redheads that I've observed on the island, and I'm putting them into categories called fire, ember, and spark. Their reasons will be very clear in a moment. So let's start off with the first group, which I will call fire. I call this group fire because these are people who have red hair, red eyelashes, red eyebrows. Pretty much all of their body hair is red. This is something that you will not see. Like, I've seen this one time have I seen someone naturally have this in Jamaica. And contrary to what you might think, this girl that I saw, she was not light and she did not have a loose hair texture. A lot of people with red hair on the island do not have a loose hair texture. So yeah, I would say that this is the least common group. Just because you're not going to see a lot of people with red eyebrows and eyelashes. So, okay, so Ember is the second group, and Ember are people that have red hair on their heads but can have black hair other places. So I have red hair on my head. I'm a part of this group. I have red hair. Oh shit, camera shaking. Okay, I have red hair on my head, but I have black eyebrows, black eyelashes. I have red hair on my arms and legs, but I don't have red hair anywhere else. Every other place on me has black hair. Men in this group can grow a beard that is red. So yeah, as I said earlier, y'all, I don't think that I'm light skinned. I think I'm sitting on the border of brown skin and light skin. And but in the summertime, I'm very brown. And in Jamaica, let me throw up a picture of me when I was a child on the island. I'll just put it up anywhere. It'll probably pop up. And yeah, so I was not light. I have just been inside of the house for the past couple years, so I stopped playing outside. One advantage of this is that, I mean, I don't really shave my legs often because you can't really see it for a while. You can't see it for a while. So what's the point? Like I'm saying, my hair is not a looser texture. I had 4C hair before it was locked. And you might think my ends are curly. My hair was heat damaged at a Dominican salon before like 2 months before I locked my hair. So yeah, my hair was 4C and bright orange. I only say this because usually in America, when I will see someone who has red hair, they usually are mixed or they just have a looser hair texture. But that just isn't the case on Island. Like, I don't know, I don't see a lot of people with a loose hair texture that have red hair there. Okay, this third group is called Spark. I call this Spark because these are people who they were born with the red hair or the blonde hair, and then as they got older, it slowly turned black. Like, they're born with it, and then by the end of puberty, their hair is like pretty much black, or like, you know, almost black. Or people who are born with black hair, but they will have strands of red throughout their hair or a patch of red. I actually went to school with a kid who had a patch of blonde hair when I went to school in Jamaica. Sometimes men in this group can still grow a brownish beard or a beard that will have like red strands. But if you are growing like a fully red beard, I'm gonna put you in Ember and not Spark. Whew. Okay, now that I've finally said everything that I wanted to say about my theory on why Jamaicans have red hair or why so many Black Jamaicans have red hair, please, I would love your input. If I got anything wrong, or if there's anything that you'd like to add, or if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. Please share this if you know a redheaded Jamaican. Tell them about this video or share it to them so that they can learn a little bit more about themselves. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Bye-bye.